At my sister's wedding, I was given a neon wristband that said I wasn't allowed in the reception hall. I'm Andrew, 32, and I genuinely thought being the responsible brother meant something. My sister Megan and I weren't super close, but we weren't enemies either. When she got engaged last spring, I was actually excited for her. 3 months before the wedding, Megan called me stressed about costs. The venue was more expensive than expected, and her fiance Scott's startup wasn't paying him yet. That's when I offered to photograph the entire wedding for free. I'm a professional wedding photographer. My packages start at $4,000, but I told Megan I'd handle everything: ceremony, reception, family portraits, the works. She literally cried on the phone and said I was saving their entire wedding. But as the wedding approached, things started feeling weird. Megan kept mentioning her photography team in conversations. When I'd ask about details, she'd get vague and say we'd figure it out later. Then came the rehearsal dinner. I showed up with my cameras ready to capture some candid moments. That's when I met Justin, some 22-year-old kid with a basic DSLR hanging around his neck like a tourist. "Oh hey," Megan said awkwardly. "Justin's going to be helping with photos too." Scott jumped in. "Yeah, Justin did my cousin's wedding last month. Really captured the vibe, you know? Very authentic, not all posed and corporate." The dig was obvious. My work is polished and professional, which apparently meant corporate to Scott. "Actually, we were thinking Justin could take the lead," Megan said. "You know, since he really gets our aesthetic." I felt like I'd been punched. "Megan, we talked about this. I'm doing your wedding photography." "Right, but more like backup in case Justin misses something?" "Backup. I'm a professional photographer being demoted to backup for some kid with a camera from Best Buy." Wedding day arrives. I show up with $15,000 worth of equipment. The venue coordinator hands me a bright orange wristband. "What's this for?" I ask. "Orange is ceremony only. Reception access is limited to essential vendors on the approved list." I'm confused. "I'm the photographer and the bride's brother." She checks her clipboard. "Says here you're listed as backup photography. Justin Morrison is the primary photographer with full venue access." I look around. Justin's already at the altar with his amateur setup, wearing a silver VIP band. Even the florist has better access than me. That's when I hear Megan's maid of honor talking to another bridesmaid. "The orange bands are for non-essential people. You know, just in case the real photographer doesn't show up." They both laugh. I'm standing 3 feet away with thousands of dollars in professional equipment, being called non-essential. I watch Justin fumbling with his camera settings, shooting in full auto mode, missing obvious shots. He doesn't know how to work with the venue lighting. That's when I made my decision. I started packing up my gear. All of it. Megan noticed immediately and came rushing over in her getting ready robe. "Andrew, what are you doing? Where are you going?" I held up my orange wristband. "Non-essential people don't need to be here." "But what if Justin messes up? What if his camera breaks?" I shrugged, continuing to pack. "Guess you should have thought of that before making me backup." "Andrew, please. I need you here." Scott appeared. "Dude, don't be dramatic. We just wanted a different style." "Different style? Justin's shooting everything in auto mode. Half his shots are going to be blurry." I loaded my car while wedding guests started arriving. Megan stood in the parking lot in her robe, mascara running, begging me to stay. "Please, Andrew, I'm sorry. I messed up." "Yeah, you did. But Justin's got this, right?" I drove away while she was still calling my name. Later that night, my phone exploded with texts. Justin's camera battery died during the ceremony. His backup camera had a corrupted memory card. He missed the ring exchange, the kiss, and most of the family photos. The reception photos were worse, all dark and grainy because he didn't know how to handle low light. Megan called me sobbing at midnight. "Andrew, please tell me you took some backup shots." "Sorry," I said. "Non-essential people don't take backup shots." She ended up with maybe 30 usable photos from her entire wedding, all amateur hour. 3 months later, Megan asked if I could fix Justin's photos in Photoshop. I told her my editing rates start at $150 an hour. She never responded.